Welcome back to the Charles in Charge Cowboy Sports Report. It's been about a week or two since our last live show. It is Friday night, therefore it's about 9:50 p.m. Central Time, my time. Doing a late video, hopefully, draws a crowd. It's Friday night. Not everybody works Saturday. Yeah, it's been a week or two since I've talked with y'all. Life, has its ups and downs, as y'all know this. 80 away from 500. When I hit 500, I keep implying when I hit 500, we have a raffle for Emmitt Smith rookie card. That card in time will increase in value because nobody will ever break his all-time rushing record. And then when it hit 1,000, a autograph Larry Allen football from training camp back in Wichita Falls. May his soul rest in peace. Now, everybody's got their flavor. Either you like Fish at 6, you like Chat Sports, you like Law, you like, Vice Lombardi. Vice Lombardi and Law are my two favorite fish, probably the third. This channel, when it gets to its heights, will be a show that you enjoy watching, look forward to watching. Still small and young. Been watching this team since Super Bowl 28. Like 30 years watching these Cowboys rock our world in ways that we would not like most of the time. Played the game my entire youth, been shooting the game my entire life. Now, that red subscribe button you see, it's free. It costs you nothing. I implore you, please help me get to 500. If you don't like my content in the future, it's free to press unsubscribe. It costs you nothing. Absolutely free. And that thumbs up button just helps the videos get viewed more. Please hit that like button. And when you show small life shows are sometimes hit or miss. Last few have been a hit. Hopefully people are watching or prowling YouTube tonight, Cowboys Nation. And we'll see if we get the 10-minute mark and we don't have much action. We'll just do a regular video. But there's a lot that's happened in the last 2 weeks in training camp with contract situations. There's been some roster moves. Been some training camp standout players. Midas Touch. How you doing, my man? Do you work for Midas or I think that Midas Touch VR? Welcome. Look, chill. Stay for a minute. There's some people getting in the room here. When the show's young and small, live shows are kind of hit and miss. The last couple have been pretty good. Been about 2 weeks since I've been on. And like I keep saying, subscribe because once I'm 80 away from 500, you can get the Emmitt Smith Rookie of the Year card. That will be worth some real money. The prizes given out on this show will actually work. I mean, you damn chat. The prizes I give out on this show will actually be worth something. I see other shows like, I love Mike Fisher, but he's giving away like bobbleheads and stuff. And I'm like, Mike, you got so much memorabilia, autograph. You can get, 5 guys to autograph you a jersey at training camp today, Mike Fisher. You know what I'm saying? Like show us love. Everybody showing you love. That's just the way I feel about that. Now, training camp, right? 88 is not out there. I love 88. I didn't see Drew Pearson play. I saw Michael Irvin play. I damn sure saw Dez Bryant play. And now we're getting to watch CeeDee Lamb play, which in my opinion probably will be the best 88 this team has had to date. Nobody's had a career start like CeeDee Lamb. Back-to-back 100-yard catch seasons. No Cowboys players ever had more than one. Only Michael Irvin and Jason Witten have done that. And they only did that once in their career. Lamb's done it 2 consecutive seasons and it only took him 16 games to do it, not 17. His name is Fubu. What's going on, Ryan D's? Welcome. So, Jerry Jones is all over every damn sports show. Says there's no urgency in signing CeeDee Lamb. Well, Jerry, why do you say that? Well, why did I go to high school? Why did I go to college? I don't know why I said that. There's just no urgency. There's nothing to read in between the lines there. Like I say, if we sign CeeDee Lamb September 1st, exactly 1 week before we play the Browns week 1, he'll be ready to roll 100%. With Elliott's situation 5-6 years ago, his holdout is different. A running back is different. So the first 3 games Zeke played in 2019, he was not the same. He looked like he's running the Cowboys' hand. 88's been working with 4 all season. He knows the offense. He knows Dak like a telekinetic type of connection. Give him a week to get ready for the Browns. He'll be out there to ball. Even if Denzel Ward's on him, doesn't matter who's on him. But if he ain't practicing, if he's not in camp right now, he can't get hurt. So that don't bother me. Put him in bubble wrap right now. He will get his freaking money. You go back to 2019, first preseason game, Tony Pollard goes off. Hey, Trevino, Eagles fan in the house. Everybody here is welcome. It's a Cowboys Syndicate show, but I talk all football, all teams. I just love the game. You go to 2019, first preseason game, rookie Tony Pollard goes off, and he asked Jerry Jones about the contract with Zeke. And he says, Zeke who? That was headline news. And then when he finally gave Zeke his bag, they had a t-shirt gimmick that said Zeke who on it. I read it. Hey, welcome back, man. He was just held out of training camp, precautionary reasons. A quarterback like Dak, you want him to be 100%. You know what I mean? So he's not going to play in any of the preseason games. He don't need to. Another Eagles fan in here, Kennedy. Welcome, Kennedy. And Creed Trevino. We're going to have 2 good battles this season. You best believe that. Yeah, Kennedy. CD's going to get paid. Just because Jerry Jones said there's no urgency, that doesn't mean anything. By the way, there's a little kid's birthday party going on. I ain't got no damn microphone yet because my show ain't where it's supposed to be yet. Once it gets there, I'll have all the bells and whistles like everybody else does. This show will be a show you look forward to watching, I guarantee you. But Lamb will get signed. And it'll be 35 plus million APY. And his guaranteed money will be out the roof. Jerry Jones does not get cramps in his hand when writing checks. And he knows not to go to the season without probably a top 3 receiver in the league, if not the best. Yeah, brother. Kennedy, Cowboys have been they've been zip all off season. Y'all remember two all seasons ago in 2022? They were the same way. We trade Amari Cooper for peanuts. We let Cedric Wilson walk. That's 2 of our starting four receivers. Connor Williams walked, Randy Gregory, Lyle Collins, Greg Zuerlein, bunch of us. It was an exodus of former guys that played for us gone. And who do we bring in? James Washington. He didn't do anything. And Dante Fowler. Only 2 FAs we brought in. Our rookie class of that year balled out, though. We went 12-5, won a playoff game. And if Tony Pollard don't break his leg, we beat the Niners in the Bay that day. I guarantee you. Raiders, Prods, 5-5. Shout out to you, my man. Like I said, it's a Cowboy show, but I talk all teams, all football. I love the game. When I was 5 years old, my first Cowboy game was Super Bowl 28 against Buffalo. Never seen him play before. Fell in love. My dad hated the Cowboys. I don't even know why. I fell in love with the team. And since then, it's been my strange addiction. It is what it is. And Melissa Henry, another Raider fan. So we have a mixed crowd. That's cool. Any Cowboy fans in the chat, put a thumbs up. And Blake, go Bucks. We do play Tampa this year, being that they won their division. And so do we, so we have the first place schedule. Kennedy, Cowboys is always a dice every week. It's either you get the Cowboys that got smoked by Denver or San Fran, or you get the big bad Cowboys that can blow up. Yeah, I know, Kennedy. It's Tang Shang. Thanks for the thumbs up. Before I keep getting into this, guys, I'm 80 away from 500. When they hit 500 subs, if you are one of them, we have a raffle giveaway for an Emmitt Smith Rookie of the Year card. Whether you're a Cowboy fan or not, you know it's worth money. My prizes will be worth something. So please subscribe, employ me, indulge me. But Kennedy, you're right. You look at 2022, Minnesota was like a one-loss team, and we go up to their crib and beat them 40-3. Last season, we opened up week 1 40-0 against the Giants. We hadn't beat the Giants that bad since the last time we won the Super Bowl with 95. We beat them week 1, Monday Night Football, 35-0. I remember watching that game because Emmitt Smith's first carry of the season, he took it 70 yards for the touchdown untouched. And so when we won 40-0 against the Giants this last week 1 last season. I was like, oh man, this is it. But then Diggs goes down after week 2, and I think that had a big, big effect on this team. Thank God we had Gilmore, but and then we get into the 2 seed. That's 2 home games guaranteed. We had won 16 in a row at home. Leading up to that, the record is 18 under Tom Landry. So we're looking at tying that up. We're going to walk over Green Bay. The entire team overlooked Green Bay, the 7th seed, who wouldn't have been a playoff team 4 years ago, which is now because we have 7 seeds. And then round 2 is another home playoff game. So we don't lose at home, right? So we're looking at win-win, go to San Fran, and get revenge. Didn't happen. Chris Gons, my big dog, what's happening? Go Cowboys. Charles, let's go. Jerry Jones needs to pay CD Lamb. JJ and Steven and Will McClay are going to pay 88. It's going to happen. But right now, let CD stay on the sidelines, stay out of camp, stay at the house and chill. He can't get hurt that way. The only way he can get hurt is if he does some dumb Eric Williams shit and drives super drunk and gets to a almost fatal accident. If you don't remember back in 95, Eric Williams, right tackle. Kennedy, I just want to see the Cowboys be consistent for a season. Kennedy, are you a Cowboys fan or Eagle fan? Because it seems like you're pulling for Dallas subconsciously, but claim to, ride green. Yeah, but you're right. Consistent throughout the entire season. But that's kind of hard to do because you look at San Fran last year, right? They made it to the Super Bowl. They start off hot. And to put the cherry on top, they blow us out of the water on Sunday Night Football. And then after that, they lose to, I think it was Cleveland. I think it was Cleveland. Cleveland either beat Philly or the Niners for the first loss. But then it reeled into 3 in a row, for San Fran to lose 3 in a row. And I was like, what's going on with San Fran? But then they got their shit back together and then kept rolling. Nah, I hate the Giants. Kennedy says, no, I hate the Giants either. A passion. All right, so you're just a Giant hater and pull for anybody else in the East except for the Giants. I can dig it. That's a funny way to have fandom, but I can dig it. We've owned the Giants since Dak's rookie season. He got swept by him, but since then he ain't lost to him. Blake, we're all excited for kickoff, dog. Sunday is my stepdaughter's baby shower, which is like the worst day for her to freaking pick it because that's her first preseason game. I'm going to catch my preseason game, you best believe that. But we all excited, man. September 8th, opening Sunday. But the real question is, who's excited about the new kickoff rule? Because nobody is paying attention to how much it's going to impact this season, especially being the first season the rule was implemented. Chris Gons, I hate the Eagles the most. Their fans obnoxious at times. Not all, but a lot. Yeah, I agree. A lot of Eagles fans can get on your nerves, but it seems like on my channel, on my show, Eagles fans that pop in are respectful. They're cool. They don't, spam or say dumb crap. You know what I'm saying? And they don't really disrespect my show or the Cowboys, and I give that respect back. Like Kennedy, in my opinion, the Eagles last year were better than the Cowboys and Niners. Just the coordinators were trash. Man, I got topics I'm trying to get into, but y'all getting me. I can talk football all day and night. Kennedy, I've never seen a team start 10-1 and almost miss the playoffs. Start 10-1 and finish 11-7. They are Charles and you channel. 10-1. The Eagles had a catbird seat for the number 1 seed, but every game they were winning, they were barely getting by. And I was watching that. So was everybody else. But they're like, great teams find a way to win. And I'm like, yes, but they're beating the Buffalo Bills of the world, the Chiefs of the world. But they're barely getting by the bad teams of the world, too. And if you're a really good team, you got to blow out the bad teams. That's what we're known for, right? If the team's under 500, Cowboys are favored by 15,000. And then they slide and they lose to Arizona and the Giants and give us a 2 seed. Yeah, I don't either, Kennedy. I mean, it was like no major injury. Like Jalen Hurts wasn't hurt. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith weren't hurt. Fletcher Cox, Jason Kelly, they were all healthy. It wasn't like a major injury happened and the Eagles fell. No, the whole team fell. When San Fran blew them out, it's like the playbook opened on them. It was open season. And they came to our house, and then we put a whoop 33-13. And when I saw that, that was our 5th win in a row. And I was like, I'm going to Buffalo. I showed out some freaking serious money to do that. It's the worst money I ever spent. If I should have went to any away game, it was not that one. Not coordinators. But Kennedy, who's your offensive coordinator now this season? Kellen Moore. What is he known for? A passing attack offense. What are the Eagles' offense best known for right now under the Hurts era? Running the football. That's why Mike McCarthy had Kellen, kick rocks, because he wouldn't run the ball enough. Not to Mike McCarthy's liking. It was more, that's 2019 he became OC. That's when Dak started launching the football more than he ever had. First 2 seasons, it wasn't too good at all. Dak's stats were garbage stats. And then 21-22 got better. Last season in the West Coast offense was his best season of his career under Mike McCarthy, who coached Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Who we better for rushing, since we always had it up? Yeah, exactly. And you've always had a good running back in Miles Sanders. Super Bowl year 2022. Last season, DeAndre Swift was healthy all year. And this season, y'all have Saquon Barkley. And Jalen Hurts is a running-ass quarterback. I give him props because Jalen Hurts can run the ball damn well. But I can't wait till somebody layways his shit when he does that. Because it'd be 3rd and 15, and you're looking to get the ball back. You're like, yeah, ball's coming our way. And then it's a design quarterback draw, and that long stride, he gets 20 and slides. And boy, that can get really irritating. All right, let me get some points. I went over don't really read into what Jerry Jones, because Jerry Jones will talk to a tree or talk in the mirror. Al Harris is doing something in training camp. If y'all been watching the videos of training camp, you guys are good at drafting defensive players by Kennedy. Yeah, Will McClay. Will McClay is our general manager for all intents and purposes. He's our real GM. Al Harris, what is he doing right now in training camp? Right? He became assistant head coach. He's still defensive backs coach. Kelsey's the worst tight end in the NFL. Jason Ferguson is Jason Kelsey 2.0. Boy, he's going to blow up this year in his 3rd year, man. And he ain't scared of nobody. He's one of them competitors. But Al Harris said that he was going to follow Dan Quinn wherever he went. Dan Quinn took an exodus of Cowboys, coaches and players with him to Washington. Al Harris stayed. Even after he said he would follow Dan Quinn wherever he went. Maybe the role of assistant head coach. Not exactly sure what that title means, but he's still a defensive backs coach. Next step for him is to be full-blown defensive coordinator. He was a really good player, if y'all remember. He's even a better coach. Al Harris, 2020, came on to our squad under Mike Nolan. And then the next 3 years, had the privilege to play under Dan Quinn. Took Trayvon Diggs, a 2nd-round pick, turned him into All-Pro. Took DeRon Bland, a 5th-round pick, turned him into All-Pro. Took this year's 5th-round pick, Kalen Carson, and has him looking like a diamond in training camp right now. We could have 3 superstar cornerbacks under 25 years old, or I think Trayvon is about 25, and have him be set at corner for the next 10 seasons. Like the 90s Dolphins with Sam Madison and Patrick Surtain, or the Eagles with Bobby Taylor and Troy Vincent, them bookend cornerbacks that you drafted, and they were awesome, and they played a whole career with you. I'm liking what I've been hearing about rookie. Oh, Chris Gaunt, have you been watching any video of the camp? Of the blue and white? Because Law Nation, all them big boys are there right now. I'm a small guy, I ain't there yet. By next offseason, I would love to be there. But Law Nation puts out the blue-white scrimmages, and every other pass it, breakup, or interception is number 41, Kalen Carson. Now, I know Lamb ain't out there, but he's still got Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, Kevontae Turpin, 2 of those guys got high-end speed. Jalen Brooks ain't no pushover, which I thought he might be. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But Al Harris has been working with the linebackers lately. He's been working with the linebackers, working with Eric Kendricks on the best way to position yourself to intercept the ball, how to read the quarterback's eyes. It's like Al Harris is teaching some defensive back fundamentals to the linebackers, being that we have a slew of them now. After the San Fran game last year, we only had one. 55 goes down, he's done. We had Damone Clark, that was it. He's got, the linebackers doing cornerback, defensive back drills. Al Harris is a freaking genius, guys, and he has not gotten his credit yet. His flowers are coming. Because either he'll get promoted to a defensive coordinator job here or somewhere else. He'll excel at that and then be a head coach in the near future. I believe that with all my heart. But, yeah. So, what exactly is his role? In my opinion, I think Al Harris is co-defensive coordinator with Mike Zimmer. It's Mike Zimmer's, scheme he's had, but I believe Al Harris is putting in wrinkles here and there. Al Harris started out as a technician coach, defensive backs coach, but Al Harris is starting to learn to be a strategic coach, which you need to be any kind of coordinator or head coach. Kennedy, what jersey's more iconic in the Cowboys' home away jerseys or the Packers' home jersey or the Niners' home jersey? I think the most iconic jersey is that 94 throwback jersey that we wore in the loss to San Fran in that championship game. That throwback jersey, hell, y'all all seen the highlights of that game. 38-28 loss after a 21-0 start. I think that's the most iconic jersey. The Niners and Packers jersey pretty much been the same. Haven't had much adjustment. But yeah, Al Harris has a bigger role in this team than we think. Without him, this defense would not be as close as it is to being what it is. And with Mike Zimmer coming in this season with a fresh view of, the defense, I believe Dan Quinn in that playoff game, I believe he was thinking past the game. Because we've never seen Cowboys coach defense by Dan Quinn play that bad. That bad. I mean, we've been beat bad, but not like that on defense. I mean, I even said after we were down 3 scores, even if Dak would have scored on every drive after that, it wouldn't have mattered because we would have just allowed Green Bay to score right back. I think Dan Quinn, after 3 seasons of being a coordinator, was looking at, who am I going to be head coaching next season? While he was in that booth during the playoff game. Yo, now, how was y'all game? We played the Rams on Sunday. Our last game, I had to take a month off. I didn't do a video for a month after that playoff game. But the 3 seasons Dan Quinn was here in D.C. We led the league in takeaways for 2 seasons. Our defense got a lot better, of course. Players got coached up to the best of their ability. J-Ron Kirks was a good safety for 2 seasons. And he was a nobody before that at Detroit. Now Mike Zimmer is here. Dan Quinn, for 3 years with us, had the same problem on defense, was run defense. For some reason, he couldn't get that part figured out. Now we got Mike Zimmer in here, fresh pair of eyes. And that's all he's got to fix up is a run defense. It's like Mike Zimmer inherited a Lamborghini that's got, a bent rim and a little bit of transmission problems. All he's got to do is fix that up, and he's got himself a Lamborghini to roll day and night with. This defense is stacked with talent. A lot of youth mixed with just the right amount of veteran leadership. You have a veteran in each phase of the defense. Now, that's why I really like Gilmore, because he was the best mentor for the defensive backs. Now that goes to Malik Hooker. He is, the veteran defensive back there. So you got Tank on the defensive line, and then linebackers Eric Kendricks, quarterback of the defense, and now Malik Hooker. And just the talent is nuts. And if what they're saying about Mozzie fitting into Zimmer's scheme better, a lot better than Dan Quinn's scheme, that would be a plus. Even if Mozzie don't excel, even if just Mozzie plays better this year, just better, that would be a big plus. Because I've got a lot of faith in our last pick, Justin Rogers, who everybody, of course, is going to overlook. Like last draft, Jalen Brooks, our 7th round wide receiver. I overlooked him. I was like, he's got slow 40 time. He's got no size. why do we take this guy? I said he would make the team. He made the team, number 83. And last season, every time his number was called in a regular season game, he made a play. He caught the ball. And he is fighting to be wide receiver 3 or 4 right now. Jalen Brooks. So, Chris Gons. Yes, run defense has been a problem. But Mike Zimmer, I believe, can fix it. Zimmer wants to stop the run. Exactly. And if he does that, like I thought last year, this year's the same. This defense, if coached correctly, can be one of those historically single-season great defenses. Not talking about the 85 Bears or 2000 Ravens. Those guys are in their own tier, own upper-class tier. No defense will ever be as good as those two. 2000 Ravens, in my opinion, were number one. I'm talking about defenses like the 99 Tampa defense. That was, one game away from the Super Bowl, held the greatest show on turf to 12 points. Talking about the 02 Bucks. Talking about the LOB, the no-fly zone. The 03, 04, 01 Patriots defense didn't have a nickname. But that's why they won, because of that defense and Bill Belichick's defensive mind. This defense has the potential to be that good. Which is, big words. With some people walking in and out. Don't mind the noise, everybody. And so, but besides Jerry saying what he said, we make a trade, right? Identical trade of last offseason, where we traded KJ for Nick Igbobbany or whatever, and Miami cuts KJ, and Noah Igby gets cut by us after, but he did have a touchdown. So we trade Nashawn Wright for cornerback Booth from Minnesota. Hold on one second, guys. Everybody is trying to mess up my
we're having a little party. Sorry about
show.
That.
Yes, people that are watching. I'm trying to make this happen. But Nashawn Wright, in my opinion, was horrible all 3 seasons he was here. As bad as Kellen Joseph, if not worse. So the trade for Booth, who was a second-round pick, knows Zimmer's defense. It's not a bad trade. And you're hoping a change of scenery can ignite a player's career, which has happened many times. For Mr. Booth, the best scenario for him would be cornerback 5. Because Kalen Carson is going to be cornerback 4. Jordan Lewis is our slot. And then maybe in time, he develops to even, a better corner. But it's not a bad trade. It's a good trade. And it's one of the surprising moves that we've made this offseason. Now, I brought up the 2022 rookie class, right? Because that offseason we lost a lot of players, brought nobody in, and was still really good. Should have won the division. If we didn't blow the lead at Green Bay and Jacksonville, should have won the division. That's my wife right there. Wife for 14 years, my baby doll.
Love you.
Thank you. All right. Now it's us again. That draft class in 2022 was a big reason why we went 12-5, retired Tom Brady, and like I said, if Tony Pollard doesn't break his leg at San Fran, we would have probably beat them in the Bay. Terrence Steele goes down late that season. When he's healthy at right tackle, he's the best run blocker right tackle in the NFL. He goes down. Tyron, somehow is back and goes to right tackle. This is 2022, right? And when that happened, we're like, man, Tyron Smith is going to be playing next to Zach Martin. Whoa! That's the first thing I thought, right? The 2 best linemen on the team. Because the whole season of 2022, Zeke and Pollard were running with impunity off that right side. Terrence Steele was moving people. Zach Martin was moving people. Then Terrence Steele tears up his knee. And Tyron Smith says, I'm ready to play now, guys. The rookie's doing good at left. I'm going to go to the right. Play next to my boy Zach. Man, they couldn't block for shit. And our run game went down, hill. They were okay, but they weren't near as good as they were. Tyron Smith, Jason Ferguson, Deron Bland. Nice draft. Oh, you mean Tyler Smith? Yes, it was a beautiful draft 2 years ago, as was this. But what I was just talking about is, if that didn't happen, and then we go to, San Fran. San Fran's completely healthy at this time. And it's a very nip and tuck game in the second quarter. And then Tony Pollard, breaks his leg. All Dak has is Zeke with a torn PCL. CeeDee Lamb was balling, but getting triple covered, and Gallup on one leg. Didn't have Brandon Cooks at the time. Tolbert was a Daisy Fresh rookie. But that season was our best season of the last three. And that all season was identical to this all season. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes you get addition by subtraction, which people do not understand. No, we didn't go out and make the big splash signings. That when's the last time we've done that? 2008 is the last time that comes to my mind where we actually went out and went all in with the checkbook. Do y'all remember the season? I don't know how old y'all get. I'm 37. I remember the season very well. The year before, we go 13-3. Giants drop us in the divisional round only because Terrell Owens had that broken leg 100%. Guarantee if he was 100%, Green Bay would have been coming to our house round 3. But the following season, we're trying to build off that 13-3 number 1 seed. So we signed Pac-Man Jones. Y'all remember that? Cornerback, Pac-Man Jones. We signed Zach Thomas, all-pro Hall of Fame linebacker. That guy for the defensive line, I can't remember his name. We brought in a ton of people that all season to make this, make a super team. And then during the season, we even traded a first-round pick to get wide receiver Roy Williams from Detroit, who at the time was a bowling-ass wide receiver to pair with Terrell Owens and Patrick Creighton and Jason Witten and that offensive line and Marion Barber and Julius Jones and the young Tony Romo. And guess what? We didn't even make the playoffs. Didn't even make the playoffs in 2008. And so Cowboys started figuring out homegrown talent sometimes is the best way to go. Although you do have to sprinkle outside talent in. Chris, Charles, now our O-line is getting younger again. Tyler, Cooper, Guyton. The future could be really good. Our offensive line, for all intents and purposes, is practically rebuilt. It is. I mean, Zach Martin is the eldest with his going into season 11. But Zach Martin has not had an injury-riddled career. The only season he had injuries was 2020 when the entire offensive line was out. If Zach Martin wanted to, he could play till 38 like Jason Kelsey did and still be the best right guard in the NFL. And if we're winning and he sees us, a shot to get that ring, which he deserves, he will keep playing. He won't retire after the season. Now, if we bomb this season and some crazy shit happens like 2010, if y'all remember that, in 2009, we have a good year. Win, round 1, got demolished in round 2, but 2010, big expectations. We went, 5-11, 6-10, something like that. That happens, yeah, Zach's going to hang it up. But if we get to the chip game, a game away from the Super Bowl, you damn right Zach Martin's going to stay where he's at. Because Tyler Smith, after this season, will be considered probably the best left guard in the NFL, above Quentin Nelson. So you'd be looking at the best left guard, the best right guard. Terrence Steele 100%, a top 10 right tackle. Brock Hoffman will probably be the starting center this season since Connor Beebe has never played. Dak even endorsed that. That's fine. And Tyler Guyton is looking like we're going to be 5 for 5 with first-round offensive linemen since 2011. I mean, the way he goes up against Micah is so damn surprising. You see Chuma go up against Micah, he's, toast. But number 6, he's been holding his own. We shall see about that. But 2022, we had 5 rookies making instant impact. Big time. Tyler Smith at left tackle. And the thing about that was Tyler was at left guard all offseason, all preseason, all 3 preseason games. He was at left guard. And then 2 weeks before week 1, Micah Parsons in practice makes a move on Tyron Smith, and it really, messes Tyron's leg up a little bit. And that was a prelude to the injury. The next practice, Tyron, hamstring goes off the bone, and they tell the rookie, hey, I know you've been at left guard all season and preseason, but we need you at tackle now, brother, on an island. 2008, don't remind me, Charles, one of the most disappointing seasons in team history. I thought we would win the Super Bowl, that squad. Pac-Man, Felix Jones. Yeah, he was a rookie that year. Terrell Owens, and we got blown out last game 44-6. Oh, yeah, we did. That last game was win and get in. And we had beat Philly earlier in the season, week 2, in a high-scoring affair. That was Deshaun Jackson's rookie season 2. And then week 17, they I was actually working that day, and I saw the first quarter went, and I was like, I ain't watching this. One of the few games I didn't watch. But 2022, Tyler Smith plays great at left tackle as a rookie. One impact rookie, right? Deron Bland. Jay Lou goes down in week 4. Deron Bland, 5th round pick. Going to slot, rookie, play. And he balls out. Gets a good amount of picks, too. Damone Clark, by week 5, is healthy. We need linebacker help. Get out there, Damone. He has a great rookie season. Jake Ferguson, as a rookie. Hey, you tied in 2 right now. He balled out behind Dalton Schultz. And there was one other cat that did pretty damn good for a rookie. There was five guys that had a big impact. I'm gonna get to Maurice Lufau here in a second. So this season, there's gonna be at least 5 rookies that make huge impacts. First, Tyler Guyton, who I guarantee you will probably play every game this season, every snap. There won't be no Tyrone Tuesdays. He'll be practicing every practice. He's not a turnstile, and he'll get better every game. Tyron Smith, when he was drafted, was 6'5", 320 pounds. Mountain of a man, right? Big old 77, 6'5", 320. Tyler Guyton is 6'7", 330. So he's got a little size on Tyron. And his technique's out of this world. Yeah, he's raw. Every rookie's raw. But, I mean, shit. I wouldn't be surprised if Guyton makes alternate Pro Bowl this season. What a Pro Bowl. He'll be number 1. Kalen Carson will get his shot to play. Somebody will get banged up here or there. He'll play inside and out. Kalen Carson will be an impact rookie. Marshawn Nealon, being that we need to stop the run. Sam Williams, yes, out for this season, but Sam Williams was a pass rush and defensive end. We have plenty of pass rushers. Plenty. Especially with Micah Parsons not lining up at right end every down now. He's finally going to be used as a queen chess piece. And he, at linebacker, when he's coming on the blitz, I think he can be at his best. Chris, Marshawn Nealon's going to take over for Sam Williams. On first down, teams like to run the ball most of the time. Percentage-wise, on first down, a team will run the ball opposed to pass the ball. And if they get 5, 6 yards on the carry, then they're ahead of the chains. DeMarcus Lawrence, even at 32, is the best run-stopping defensive end in the NFL. And he can still get pressure on the quarterback. He's not the sack master he was in his early 20s, but the man still balls out. Marshawn Nealon is a replica of an old D-Law. Right now in camp, he's not getting after Dak, but he's damn sure being good at stopping the run. And they're rotating him in a defensive tackle also, like a tweener. So, my projected depth chart for the D-line on first down would be D-Law and Nealon at defensive ends, and then Osa, and then hopefully Mozzie, but if not Mozzie, it'll be Golston or maybe 7th round pick Justin Rogers. Or if we trade for Linval Joseph, sign for him. He knows the defense very well. He's old as dirt, but he's still decent enough to be a good rotational body. But yeah, I think Marshawn Nealon's going to take over Sam. Or Tyrus Sweet. As far as the pass rushing aspect, Tyrus Sweet showed a lot of promise last year. And with UDFAs, we have the best record in the NFL on those guys. That just is what it is. Justin Rogers, our 7th round pick. True nose tackle. Mountain of a man. He could be one of those huge success stories that, Cowboys, the last pick of the draft in 2024, the second 7th round pick that we had, becomes a force on the inside. And we don't need him to be a pass rusher of any kind. We just want Justin Rogers to clog the middle, take on a guard and a center at the same time. That's all he has to do. And that's all Mozzie has to do. But Mozzie, I don't know. Guys from Michigan have not worked out for us. Dating back to Morris Claiborne. He played for Michigan, didn't he? I believe he did. And then, like I kept telling everybody, that running back, when camp started, Zeke was at running back 1. Everybody's like, it's the worst running back room in the NFL. It's Zeke, and then behind him is Rico, and behind Rico is going to be that one fool that we signed from the Rams last season. His name not even worth mentioning, or Deuce Vaughn, or Hunter Lipke. Nah, Rico has emerged as RB1. this training camp. Rico Dowdle, like DeAndre Swift, when Rico is healthy, that boy can play ball. And this season, this offensive line will be a run block first offensive line. Young, strong, moving guys off the LOS. Rico, I will not be surprised, gets 1,400 yards on the ground because we know Mike likes to get that run game going. You get the run game going, and then 88 and number 3, 18 and 9, and 83 are going to be running crazy. 87 running crazy. And Dowdle is strong. He's strong, but he's also got that versatile effect too. You know, he can make people miss. Yeah, D-Law's still good, but not the pass rusher. He was. Let's see us sign Yannick Ndakwu. But we did sign Abdul Mohammed. Yeah, we did. We signed that guy from the Colts. We also signed somebody else too. The other guy that was trying out for that position. That was his name. So we brought in 2 defensive ends. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. But after the first or second preseason game, if the run defense doesn't look good, if Mozzie or Justin Rogers or Chauncey Golston or Valimi Fehoko don't, play well in run defense, we'll make a move one way or another, whether it's a free agent or a trade. We'll bring in another body or 2 for defensive tackle. But unlike last season, we didn't have no linebackers. We had guys that weighed 200, 220 at the LOS or behind the defensive line trying to stop the run, and they would get pushed out of the way by linemen. This season, we have real linebackers. And Eric Kendricks, he's not in his prime anymore, no. But people don't realize Eric Kendricks is only 30 years old. Only 30. Hell, Bobby Wagner's playing right now, 36, something like that? So, 30 years old, Eric Kendricks is not a dinosaur. He can still probably make it all pro this season, first, second team, depending on how he plays. But he'll be the quarterback of the defense. And then DeMarvion Overshawn, who's going to be the star of last year's draft, ready to roll. Damone Clark in year 3. Year 3 is usually when a player has a breakout year. And then we have, as you mentioned, Maurice Loafu, however you pronounce his name. I was going to put him in, the 5 rookies that have instant impacts this season. But there's so much talent in front of him. He'll get his chances here and there. But you won't see a whole lot of Maurice this season. Unless injury happens, of course. But right now, he is behind Eric Kendricks on the depth chart. He is backup middle linebacker, backup Mike. So he's learning this defense pretty damn good because when Eric Kendricks is gone, whether it be next year or the year after, the reason why they drafted this guy instead of a running back is they plan on him taking over Mike linebacker spot. We'll see how that goes. We don't know, of course. You never know until it happens. It's funny, there could be a lot of people in the chat, and then go down to like one person. When I'm speaking, I think we're putting down pretty good points. Interesting shit for people to talk about. So it's surprising to me how people don't stay the whole time. Is what it is. But and then the last last topic, really big last question mark as of right now is, Mr. 58 himself. Mozzie. Is he a 3 tech? Is he a 1 tech? We don't know. Yeah, Eric is 32. Getting older, but I thought Eric Kendricks was 30. Is he 32 for real? I guess I read that wrong. If he's 32, then yeah, he's on the wrong side of 30. But can still play good middle linebacker. He'll be better than the Wolf Hunter. The Wolf Hunter was great his rookie year. And after that, like Jalen Smith, they were both great. That 2018 season after that, they play slowly declined. Eric Kendricks, opposite. His play, increased, got better as his career went along. Perennial all-pro guy. And just because he's 32 don't mean he can't be all-pro this season. Especially with number 11 playing linebacker too, man. That's the one part of this defense people are forgetting. Number 11 is not going to be just lined up at defensive end every down. Yeah, that's easy. Run the ball in his, direction. Yeah, he's not a great run stopper. You know what I mean? great pass rusher, but not a great run stopper. So why have him at right end on first down? No, Mike Zimmer's got the right idea. Use him as a clean chess piece. First down, have him at linebacker. Have him play right next to Eric Kendricks. And if we have 3 linebackers or 4-3, have Clark or Overshawn at weak side, and then with Micah's speed, he's the fastest guy on the defense at linebacker. With his speed, if our defensive tackles can just hold the lineman for a split second longer, then Micah will meet that running back in the hole, or Eric will, or if it's a toss out, Micah will run him down. Very few running backs in the NFL will outrun Micah Parsons because he's still very young, still very fast, and his ceiling is yet to reach. Yet to reach. There was one other thing I had written down. I believe. Rico, Mike Zimmer's defense, what Al Harris is to us. AD is going to get signed. The trade that we made. Yeah, so Sunday, we're going to learn a lot against the Rams in our first preseason game. Dak ain't going to play, of course. Zeke ain't going to play. They've had Zeke in bubble wrap all training camp, too, which is kind of funny. But do you think Overshawn can play linebacker? I think so. What do you think about Wanye Thomas and Marquise Bell? Yeah, the Marquise Overshawn was drafted to be linebacker. And Wanye Thomas and Marquise Bell are just huge depth pieces at safety. This team doesn't... people don't realize the depth that this team has behind the all-pro skill, besides the running back room and defensive tackle room, which on paper is our biggest weakness. You look at the cornerbacks. Diggs is off the pup list already. By week 1 at Cleveland, he'll be 100%. You see Diggs cutting in his videos. He's making left-right cuts, jumping. He trusts his knee. Not every player is made the same. Yes, we have depth and we're deep. Every player is not made the same. Michael Gallup was not mentally strong. He tore his knee in 21, right? And then even in his second year, he wasn't the same. And so this offseason, he retires as a Raider because he just don't trust his knee, and he never will, like he did before the injury. Now you got people like Adrian Peterson who will tear his ACL and come back the very next season and be 14 yards away from breaking Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record, which they should have fed him the ball like 5 more times so he could get that record, being that he was coming off a torn ACL. Then you got Diggs, who tears his after week 2, gives him a lot longer to rehab, but he'll be 100% come week 1. And then Bland in year 3. He played all outside last season. He'll be ready this season to play better. Jay Lou, veteran slot corner. And then Kalen Carson, number 4. Whenever you have shut down corner play like that, that allows you to focus on run defense more. And these corners can play man or zone at a very high level, and they're very young. I would like Gilmore to be re-signed just because, he played really good last year, and he's a great veteran leadership in the secondary room. But with Kalen Carson balling out like he is, there's really no reason to bring in, Gilmore. I just hope Gilly don't sign with, Philly, Washington, or the Giants. I just, I learned to like him last year. I remember 2019, Gilmore made Amari Cooper quit in the middle of a 4-point game in the third quarter. That's how good Gilmore was in his prime. He's still pretty good too, but when you got corners like we do, stack the box. Man, these kids back here, I'm about to... Whoa, man. Charles, what do you think of the potential of our team this season? With so many people are thinking a lot of us. Yes, I want to get more back. Chris Gons, do you watch? I think every video I put out. Our number 1 guy. When I went through the schedule, game by game, I had us going 13-4. 13-4, even with the tough schedule that we have. AFC North. That's 4 good teams right there. And then in the NFC we got all first place teams, and then we got NFC South, I believe, which is a plus. And then we have our division, Philly, and then our 17th game is against Houston, who looked really good last year with a rookie quarterback, and our nemesis, D'Amico Ryans. Even though we got a tough schedule, I think 13 wins very attainable. But it goes down to week one. Week one, I believe, will either make the season go one way or make it go a much harder way. I guess 11-6. A very tough schedule. Yes, but check it out. Even though our last game at home was horrible, before that, the last loss at home was week 1, 2022 against Tampa, right? That breaks us in the fourth quarter. We went 16 in a row at the crib after that. Good team, bad team, doesn't matter. This season we have 9 home games, 8 away games. So 9 home games, it's extra home game. Week 1 is at Cleveland. We've had road troubles the last 3 seasons. Plus, now since 2019, we've had road troubles. Can't seem to beat a winning team at home. So week 1, we go to Cleveland, and we come out with that W. Whether it's a 1-point or 2-point, 3-point win, if we come out with a W, week 1 at Cleveland against a good opponent on the road, then after that, with a 1-0 start, you have 9 games at home, 7 on the road, and 3 of those 7 are Carolina, Giants, and Washington. So don't matter who we play at the crib, we have a good chance of winning or being in the game. I don't care if San Fran comes to the crib. If they're not, we're going to them. But if they were to, game well all the games, but the game that could really give us confidence, Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore's going to be a home game. And I know they were the number 1 seed last year in the AFC. Very good team. But at home, we can beat anybody. I got us beating Baltimore at home. The reason why the Browns game, week 1, is so damn important, if people would open their eyes and see this. When AT&T Stadium opened, it wasn't home field advantage for us. It was like a neutral field. It was like, it was new for us. It was new for the other teams. And it was the biggest stadium at the time. For the longest time, we didn't have home field advantage here. Aaron Rodgers felt more at home there than he did at Lambeau. Weird, right? We finally became a home team at AT&T Stadium. 16 in a row at home is hard to do. So having 9 games at home this year is huge. If we knock off Cleveland week 1 on the road, that's beating a playoff team on the road, it gives us road confidence off the get, start off 1-0, and then we only have 4 tough road games the rest of the season. All the rest of the tough games will be at home. Baltimore, Detroit, Houston, Tampa Bay, Philly. You know what I mean? And then, I got us not losing my first game till San Fran, really. Looking at the schedule, Pittsburgh was looking like it could be a loss because it's on the road, right? But Pittsburgh is a dumpster fire right now. You got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields getting into a fight live at training camp because Justin Fields got a little smart with Russ. Super Bowl champion Russell Wilson. Justin Fields threw a touchdown pass and looked at Russell Wilson and said, "Looks like we have the highest paid backup in the NFL. You got to go to Subway and start making subs," something like that. And Russell Wilson slapped the shit out of him. He had to break it up. Week 1's at Cleveland. You win that game, you're 1-0. Good start. Next game is at home against the Saints. That's a walkthrough. And then week 3 at home against Baltimore. You win that game, and then the season is on. Because that means 2 of the first 3 games against AFC North opponents, both playoff teams, seeds 1 and 5. And after that, it's a short week at the Giants Thursday night. It's one of the, easy away games that we have. Then we have 10 days to prepare for Pittsburgh, who is a dumpster fire, as I just explained. At Pittsburgh, I'm not shocked if we win that game. We've had road troubles, yes. But that game will be not shocked if we win that game. That's a 5-0 start. And then we have Detroit at home again. Lions gave us a good game. that last go around. Dan Campbell, if after that second 2-point conversion, he should have kicked the extra point, went play for overtime. But he goes for it again, gives us a win. I believe we can beat Detroit again at home, and this team will be better this year than last year. Then we have a bye, and we'll come out and go to San Fran fully rested, but not sharp. We lose that game, but I hope it's a narrow loss. I really don't hope it's a blowout. You know what I mean? I don't hope it's like it was last season. I hope it's a tight game to where we're going to see y'all again. Baltimore, Derrick Henry trying to stop him is going to test out our our run defense, basically. Yeah. And you're right, Charles. At Cleveland, Nick Chubb coming back. Nick Chubb will be back week 1, but, running back coming off a torn ACL, unless you're Adrian Peterson, it's really hard to gauge where he's going to be at. He didn't, tear his ACL week 1 last season. It was during the season. But it's just a fact of beating a good team, a playoff team, on the road week 1. And being that we only have 8 road games. 3 of them, Carolina, Giants, and Washington. So if you knock off one tough one off the get-go, then you got 9 home games and 4 hard away games the rest of the season. That bodes well in our direction. So then, at San Fran, we lose, but I hope it's a narrow loss. After that, at home against Atlanta, that's easy wax, a walkthrough. I mean, I went through this when the schedule went out. I'm going to go through it real quick one more time. Then week 10, home against Philly. I think this will be the 3rd time in our franchise history we sweep our division. Week 10 at Philly at home. Being that's at home, I believe we take that. Week 11, Houston at home. I see us taking that. At home, we play like man on fire, except for the last game. And then you got at Washington, home against New York. Versus Cincy, which some people don't even have the Bengals making the playoffs. I don't understand that. I know we beat Cincy with Rush at quarterback, but I know we're not going to go 16-1. So losses have to come somewhere. So after, winning 2 big games back to back and then beating on 2 easy teams, say Bengals beat us at home. Then we go to Carolina. No problem there. Home against Tampa, no problem there. And say at Philly. The reason I say 13 and 4, well, that doesn't even make sense there because I'm giving too many wins. I'm looking at 14-3 right there. I think the team can go 15-2, honestly, but realistically it'd be 13-4. So besides Cincinnati has to be an early loss. Probably Baltimore, Pittsburgh, or Detroit. One of those 3 say we lose. And then last 2 at Philly versus Washington. We might not sweep the division because I think by week 18 we'll have whatever seed we have sealed up. So if it's a 2 seed, 3 seed, whatever, we're going to rest our guys week 18 at home against Washington. But still, Dan Quinn going to take that job of all jobs and then taking all the guys with him that he did. I want to rub their ass in the mud for the next 3 seasons. Oh boy, I hope we show up at San Francisco. That's another game we've got to show. We can win or be competitive. At least be competitive, yeah. The first 2 games against San Fran, we were competitive, right? The first 2 playoff games. 6-point game in 21. And then a 7-point game in 2022. So that's 1-score games right there. And then last season, we were learning a new offense, weren't 100% implemented in the WCO, and that defense just took us apart. It really did, which put too much pressure on the defense. Defense is out there the entire game. Eventually, they're going to get worn down. So I guess if I could sacrifice a game to be San Fran, I would say losing against Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh would be fine if we could beat the Niners. That would be huge for seeding purposes. Because when you lose against San Fran, if you finish the season with the same record, they got the tiebreaker over you. That's the biggest thing. Going on an hour, we've had a good amount of people come through. Like, as soon as, as soon as you got in, Chris, it's like a whole lot of people started looking at some other stuff. But good show all in all. And then, the Eagles, the schedule is just as hard. Only game that's not as hard is, I mean, I don't know how good Houston's going to be this year, but they got Jacksonville opposed to Houston. And whoever, finished second in the NFC divisions. The West. Well, the Rams finished second in the West, right? So they got them, we got San Fran, and then we got Green Bay. No, they have Green Bay. Green Bay didn't win the division. And we have who won Green Bay's division, man? Appreciate it, Chris. Who won the NFC North last season? Detroit. I'm fucking tripping. Yeah, so we have Detroit, but they have upcoming Green Bay. That's week 1, I believe they have the Packers. And the Packers, with Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love and whatnot, seem to be getting better. Yeah, Detroit. So, Philly's got just as hard a schedule as we do. But the one thing about the Eagles is they're prone to lose against bad teams, which is really strange to me. Even Washington, under Ron Rivera, had their number the last 2 years. All 4 games went down to the wire. Washington beat them 1 out of those 4 games, but had their number. Now with Dan Quinn, head coach, I don't know. I still hope they give him as much trouble as they have been giving him. But in 2022, they gave him their first loss. And just against the division in general, Philly, against Detroit, against the Giants, both games were real tight. They split. Arizona upsets them like they upset us. Washington and the Giants aren't going to be anything this year. People say the Giants got better this offseason. Tell me how, because they got Brian Burns, to make the defensive line very legit. They lost their best player in Saquon. They got Malik Neighbors. They still have Daniel Jones at quarterback. They have no offensive line. Charles, who do you think wins, Green Bay or Philly in Brazil? I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers win that game. Because this season, Green Bay is going to want to make a statement that they are here and ready to play for the title. They've been in the shadows, last few seasons under the Aaron Rodgers shadow, and they want to show that they're more than what Aaron Rodgers was when he was quarterbacking them, and that Jordan Love is ready, and they showed it by paying him that he's ready to be the leader of that team. And the team has a lot of young talent and a very innovative young head coach in Matt LaFleur. So with Kellen Moore as Philly's offensive coordinator, I think Philly's offense, it should be RPO offense. I know they don't have Jason Kelce anymore. They don't have him. Last year they lost Isaac Somali to Pittsburgh. So the last 2 seasons they lost starting center, starting right guard. But they still have a good offensive line. They got good tackles in Matalata and Lane Johnson. Landon Dickerson is all-pro left guard. Cam Jurgens will start at center. He was drafted 2 years ago to succeed Jason Kelce. And Tyler Steen's a decent right guard. And with Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, and Kenneth Gainwell, they ought to have a hell of an RPO offense. But if Kellen Moore draws up a passing offense where Jalen Hurts has 40-plus dropbacks a game, I think the offense is going to be in shambles. I really do. Or Jalen Hurts is going to be scrambling for his life, break Justin Fields' rushing record for a quarterback in the season. or get hurt, basically, doing that. I know you got 2 good receivers, a good tight end, but you're built. Jalen Hurts is a good passer whenever the running game's going, but he's the offense is at its best when it's a run-first offense. Yep, Philly's got Saquon, AJ, Devontae, Dallas Goedert, Kenneth Gainwell isn't a joke at running back either. And Jalen Hurts is a great running quarterback. And can throw the ball pretty well, but he runs the ball so well at quarterback. He does. It could be 3rd and 15, and you're expecting to get the ball back, and they run a quarterback draw and he gets 17 yards. And it don't even look like he did much. He's got such a long stride. It looked like he took 5 steps and got 17 yards and slides. And you're just waiting for somebody to just, waylay his shit. You're like, I can't stand him running. Hitman Wilson. I don't care if he's going to the ground, pop him. Let him know that if he keeps doing that, we'll take the 15, but we're gonna hit you. Dak needs to run this year more, kind of like he was starting to last season. If Dak continues or starts again to use his legs as he did his first 3 years, that's another whole another bullet in the gun right there. Because on 3rd and 5, the last 5 seasons, nobody was worried about Dak taking off for the first down. They could play man coverage, all backs to him, and not worry about him scrambling for the first down. But if you start to use his legs again like last season, that is an additional threat on offense, especially on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. If everybody's back's turned, Dak, you run, slide, get those 6 yards and slide. He's too old to lower the shoulder like Jalen and Patton does right now. But if he continues to use his legs like last season, this offense going in year 2 in the WCO offense with Mike Zimmer at coordinator and the new kick rule that people ain't talking about, it favors us. The kick return rule favors us. Please, son. If y'all haven't had kids, wait till y'all have them. They are fun.
Get out.
But last thing I'm going to touch on is the kick return rule. Nobody's talking about it.
Oh, we got it.
Guys,
Okay, I'm coming. Shut the door.
the new kick return rule favors us a lot. We have the best special teams coordinator in the NFL, in Bones Fossil. We have a very good kick returner. The kicker kicks off at the 35, like normal. The kickoff team starts at our 40, standing there. Our guys are at our 30. Nobody can start to move until the return man fields the ball. So, Devontae Turpin, if he fields it at the 5, he's got a lot of running room before that kicking team starts to get full speed at him. Our average starting field position this season will be at the 35, I bet you. Because if the kicker doesn't kick it inside the 20, if he kicks it at the 21 or, more inside, then it's touchback at the 40. If the kicker kicks it out of the end zone, or if he kicks it just a yard into the end zone, we start at 35. Now, if he kicks the ball and it lands inside the 20 and rolls into the end zone, then we start at our own 20, old-fashioned touchback style. But Turpin has not had a legit return touchdown in a regular season game his first 2 years with us. He had one last season, got called back by Sean Wright because he got a penalty every return play. But I think this season Turpin at least takes 2 home. And our average starting field position will be at the 35, 30-yard line, which is a big difference because when you have a kicker like Brandon Aubrey and you're starting at the 30, all you have to do realistically is get 30, 35 yards, and you're in field goal range. I think Aubrey's just going to get better. He's not that old. He's still got a hell of a strong leg. And last season, who would have thought that he would have been Dan Bailey Jr., Justin Tucker Jr. He misses the first one, against the Giants. He misses that first extra point against the Giants. After Noah Igby's touchdown, we're like, oh, damn. After that, he don't miss another field goal until, he doesn't miss a field goal until the last game of the season. Charles, thank you again, man. See you next live chat. Appreciate what you're doing. Still figuring out this money thing, Cash App. Well, you guys go to YouTube. Get the money from donations. Yeah, Chris, before you leave, when I hit 500 subs, the channel will monetize. See, I don't know when I'm doing live shows if y'all see backwards or forwards. And I believe right now, see, that looks backwards to me. That looks backwards to me. That's completely backwards. Yeah, so basically it's the money sign, lowercase c, lowercase m, 65466. And right now we're trying to get a new house. So any donations, would be hugely appreciated. And let me know it's you, because as we're getting to 500, the people that donate the most will get more, raffles in the drawing for the Amos Smith rookie card. But it's the money sign, lowercase c, lowercase m, 65466. This is my 290th video, too. That's a lot of freaking videos. I didn't know I had done that many. Two more would be 300. But when it hits 500, I'll be able to do super chats, super thanks, all that kind of stuff. And all that money will go into building the channel. Studio equipment, sound bites, desktop for video, graphics, call line, all the bells and whistles everybody else has, in other words. And then next off season, I'll be going Oxnard annually like everybody else, which I would love to be there right now. And maybe, hell, who knows? Maybe in 2 weeks I'll have a chance to catch the back end of it, or if not, catch them while they're here in Texas. Yeah, I think so, Chris. It's like Law said when Law was in the middle of his journey that he wanted to quit. He was so because it is a little taxing sometimes, and he was going to delete his channel and be done with it. His grandma wouldn't let him quit. He kept at it, and now he's at 160,000 subscribers. I don't even think he works as a mechanic anymore. I think all he does is 2 shows a day, with the call-in line. And now he has endorsements, people sponsoring his channel. That's like the freaking dream. If it wasn't playing for the Cowboys, it was making money talking about the Cowboys was dream number 2 as a kid. You know what I mean? Being one of those guys on the NFL Network or CBS or Fox. But now YouTube is where the real platform is. We're not people reading off a prompt or, this and that. This is honest, unbiased stuff. You thinking about going to another game this year? Yeah, if it's a winning season and we look good, yeah, I would love to. And as far as away games, I wouldn't pick San Fran to go to as an away game, because I think that would be setting myself up for a lot of disappointment. But a good away game to go to this year, besides week 1, would probably be week 5 at Pittsburgh. Just because it'd be a night game. It'd be pretty cool to catch a night game in an outdoor stadium. That or at Philly week 17. If you're a Cowboy fan and you're at Philly week 17 because you live out of state, CVK the Deep, sup? What's going on, my man? my buddy Chris been with us for a while. He's about to drop out. But if you're a football freak like I am, Deep, and you want to chat up a little bit more, I'm still open for business. But yeah, an away game would be Philly, week 17, cold. Buffalo was cold last season, but it wasn't as cold as they said it would be. And it didn't really rain till the fourth quarter. And we already had our ass kicked at that time anyway, so me and Eric just sat there in those little high school stands until it 0-0 like men, took the loss like men. And Bill's Mafia was, oh my God, they would not shut up. All you heard walking out the stadium was, here we go, here we go. Oh man, that was a tough game. The experience was fun, but it's so disappointing to see no effort. And with the stadium as small as Highmark, you can see every player, like so close. You can see the football. Like I say, if you're at AT&T Stadium and you ain't got good seats, you're on the high row, you can't even see the damn football. You're watching the screen. Highmark Stadium's like a high school stadium. So we went 5 in a row, and I'm going to the Buffalo game. And on the airplane, I had a layover from Houston. I went to Baltimore, and then from there to Buffalo. From the plane from Baltimore to Buffalo, every passenger on that plane either had a Cowboys jersey or a Bills jersey. I mean, it was like I wouldn't have never thought that. How's Dak doing? I heard there's something wrong with his ankle. Yeah, Dak's always gonna have a soft left ankle because that's the leg that he almost ended his career with. It's precautionary reasons. Hell, when he goes deep sea fishing, he wears a boot because it swells up when he's out there in that moisture sea air. But he'll be just fine. He won't play any preseason games. If they have to sit him for a week or 2, just for precaution, they will. But he'll be all right. Yeah, Buffalo, a tough game, Charles. 31-10. Yeah, it was 31-10. It was 31-3 until we scored at the very end of the game, which didn't matter. And by that time, all the Cowboy fans had left. It was almost a split crowd. All the Bills fans were having a blast. Oh, yeah, it's a bad away game to go to. But yeah, I think Philly would be the best one to go to. Yeah, that one or Pittsburgh. But if you want to feel the elements, which we don't feel here in Texas, then it'd be Philly because it's gonna be cold in Philly. That's what January. It's December 29th, 4 days after Christmas. Boy, and you know how volatile Philly gets. So if you're up there wearing 88, 411, whatever, you know what I'm saying. You got your Cowboys jacket on and shit, and you got your beanie on, and shooting your buddy. I don't know. If I go, I might roll 3 or 4 deep, because I know the Philly Mafia be packing. You know what I'm saying? Those they do some crazy shit up there, but that would be hell of experience. I've seen them at home, but my buddy's bucket list is to watch us play in every stadium in the NFL. Mine's just to watch us play every team in the NFL live. So going to Philly would be, not crossing the team off the list. Going to Pittsburgh would be though. And by December, we should be all right money wise, but we shall see. CV to D, you still here or did you leave? There's like a million people in the chat. Then it goes down to 1, then 15 to 0 to 1. So apparently there's still one person left here. We had an hour and 16 minutes and a half. Whatever anybody wants to talk about, I'm still game to talk. Whoa. I probably just went off and on. Trippy. Go ahead, Pittsburgh game. Steelers fans are nuts, more conservative. Philly fans forget about. I went to Philly. I almost got in a fight. Ooh, did you really, Chris? Did you go to a Cowboy game in Philly? Ooh, man. that is the only away game I would actually be very aware of my surroundings. That's the only away game if I were to go to Philly. That's the only team to go, on the road to watch us play that I would actually be, looking at everybody to my left and my right. So was it the 22 season with Cooper Rush as that quarterback? Yeah, they are. I remember in the 90s, security had to take the Cowboys off the field, coaching staff and all, because the fans were throwing snowballs packed with batteries and razor blades and weapons in them. Big old, bad stuff, man. Not even Cowboys and Texans games get like that. And that's, interstate rivalry. It has been since it was Houston Oilers. I went to the Texans game in 2018 when it was here in Houston. And everybody behaved themselves. We lost in overtime. Sucked, but they weren't too braggish, Respect. It was a good game. Right before we traded for Mr. Amari Cooper. Could y'all imagine if we still had Amari CD, and Brandon Cooks? But I don't think we need him. His offense is going to be good as it is. So you were at that game. Chris, Cooper Rush won 4 straight games heading up to that Philly game, right? We're 0-1, season's over. Then he takes over. We beat Cincinnati. We beat Washington, the Giants. We beat the Rams. I guarantee you we beat the Rams by 2 scores, by the way. Everybody told me, slow, pump the brakes. It's Super Bowl champs right there. We'll be lucky to win on the road. And we won by 2 scores. And then Cooper Rush is looking to go 5-0. And he wanted that game against Philly. He wanted it so bad. 5-0 against 4-1. Cooper Rush turns the ball over 4 times in the first half in Philly territory. Looked like, that should be a blowout game. In the fourth quarter, Cooper Rush had, early fourth quarter, he had brought us within a field goal. It was 2017 through a touchdown, Jason Ferguson. 3-point game, and I'm like, here we go. Cooper might make this happen. Our defense has been playing well all game. And the very next drive, Jalen Hurts drives down the field, gets into the end zone. And at that point, I knew we weren't coming back. But we were close. If we would have got a stop on that following drive after the Ferguson touchdown, and Cooper Rush had a chance to tie it or take the lead, it would have been 28-24. It would have been 24-20. I bet you. We could have won a game if we didn't make those mistakes. Yeah, Cooper Rush didn't have any turnovers that season except that game. So he was playing uncharacteristic. He was trying to push things, which he didn't do the first 4 games. But at Philly, he wanted so bad. He was making throws he normally wouldn't make. And still, we were 3 points away in the fourth quarter. Ooh, boy, I remember I had a big bet with my neighbor on that game. He was a Philly fan. Man, I thought we was going to take that. I was like, man, if Cooper goes 5-0, they're going to have a Romo Dak controversy going on here. Like, real talk. Because defense is playing lights out. Cooper was having no turnovers. And if we got behind, then he would just turn it on. At the Giants, they took the lead 13-6. And then Cooper Rush goes 3 straight scoring drives. He was 10 of 11 on those drives. Touchdown, field goal. All right, cool. What time is it now? 11:13. They rubbed it on me. Man, I don't see how they can when our backup quarterback, was that close to knocking them off at their own crib. And that was the year that Philly had the super team. They had a super team. I mean, Hargrave, everybody. Super team. A.J. Brown's first year there, offensive line was, everybody. They had everybody that season. That was their super team. That was their Super Bowl shot. The window was still open, but not like ours. I think our window is open for like the next 4 or 5 years with as young as this team is. And the draft and develop deal, they figured out after Jason Garrett goes 8-8 3 years in a row, and then 2014, we had the steamroll of a machine team because our offensive line is, 3 Hall of Famers, 1,800-yard running back, your Romo, you got Dez killing it, and they were like, well, this draft and develop seems to have something going on to it. And if, the referee has a brain, we beat Green Bay, and we go to Seattle to play them again. We beat them earlier in Seattle that season. And then 2 years later, same thing. Great offensive line, run game, quarterback. Philly fans are big takers, but they really can be jerks, assholes, excuse my French, big-time talkers. Yeah, it's how it is. It's kind of how it is with us and San Fran, I think. In the division, even when it was Arizona in the division, it used to be our biggest rival was Washington, Cowboys, Redskins. That was big. But ever since the pickle juice game in 2000, when Philly had that dominant run, they've become our biggest rival in division. Now, our biggest out-of-division rival would be the Niners. And I'm at Niners and Green Bay, 1A, 1-2. And our biggest AFC, rival would be, I would say, Pittsburgh. Just because of the 70s, the 90s, and the 2000s. In 2008, I remember going up to Pittsburgh, having a 2-score lead late in the fourth quarter, thinking we're going to pull that out, and it was snowing, man. And then Pittsburgh scores, and then Romo throws a pick 6. Oh, I couldn't believe that. And we lost that game. Woo! That 2008 season still has some taste that tastes really bad. I think we lost the game 24-20. We were up 20-10. And then Romo does that pick 6. Oh, gosh, that was bad. All right, guys. Yeah, we'll shut it down now. Thanks for joining, Chris, man. You're the best. Everybody else that joined in, thanks for joining. If you watch this after it's uploaded, I'll get this microphone soon, guys. Give me the 500. Now that'd be the first thing I get. A little party going on in the background. It really started with Buddy Ryan, bounty on Jimmy Johnson's. Check that. Oh, yeah. Buddy Ryan kind of had like a similar thing like Minnesota did, right? What was that defensive coordinator's name, man? They had bounty gate. Yeah. If you knock some big player out, even if it was a dirty play, you got some kind of compensation some way. And Buddy Ryan seemed like the type of guy who would do that. He was a Eagles head coach, right? Defensive coordinator. Way back when Reggie White played for him. That's you going way back. Chris, how old are you, Chris? I'm 37. My first game was Super Bowl 28. So if you remember in the Buddy Ryan bounty, you might. I even look at Law Nation, and he looks like he's like my age, and he's talking about he was a Cowboy fan in the 80s. I'm like, how old is Law? He must be 50. That would make sense if he was 50. He don't look 50, but I don't look 37 either. You're 42, Chris? Wow. For some reason in my mind, I feel like I'm 21 still. So I feel like everybody else that's on the show is around 21, 22, but we're all older now. Pushing 40 is tripping me out. It is. But it's all good. We all got to hit 40 sometime. Everybody keep God first and foremost. He comes before everything, even this. Even the what I'm going through right now. I know that blessings around the corner. You seek Him and His righteousness, and all the other things that you want in life that's meant for you will be added unto you. I say that at the end of every one of my videos because that is the truth. It's God, family, Cowboys, and country for me. For some people, it's God, family, and country. But if it wasn't for the Cowboys, it wouldn't be much of USA for me. I'd be living in London or something, probably. I don't know. Oh, you saw the documentary. Okay, Chris. I got you. Yeah, guys, please hit that subscribe button if you're watching this after it's uploaded. Help me get to 500. All right, Emmett Smith Rookie of the Year card. Raffle giveaway, guys. All right. And if anybody, wants to prematurely donate to the channel before it hits 500, that's the $, lowercase e, lowercase m, 65466. That's the Cash App. God bless. CVKD Deep. Hey, subscribe, brother, if you haven't, man. And yeah, that would be fun. That'd be a fun show in the A500 and have that giveaway. And like I said, the longer you hold on that card, the more it's going to grow in value because nobody will ever break Emmitt Smith's all-time rushing record and the way the NFL is going as a passing league. No running backs run like they did, and nobody will run for as long as he did like that, behind a great offensive line for the majority of his career. Yeah, thanks for everybody for joining us. It's an hour and a half show. Pretty good. You have a good weekend. Be safe. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Go Cowboys always, Chris. No matter how much they make us cry at the end of the season, it's like a strange addiction. Okay, you've been a subscriber. I appreciate it, Deep. I appreciate it. If you can share this content, you know what I mean? 80 away from 500. That can happen, honestly, in 2 shows, 1 show, if it's a big show. But yeah, have a good weekend, guys. Be safe, be careful. We're trying to move into a new house. We have until the 15th to be out of this one. Put an application for a property we like in the area. I believe that the doors are going to open perfectly and God's going to make it happen like He has the last 2. That's what, faith. You got to operate on faith opposed to sight. Easier said than done because I've been stressing a lot. That's why I ain't been on lately. But you can't let that overtake you. You can't let the darkness nub out your light. This world's always gonna throw curveballs at you. I don't know if y'all seen Fences with Denzel. I think 2018, 2019 he made it. You got to take the crookeds with the straights. And I took that line to heart whenever he said that. You'll grow, Charles. I can tell you're a great man, hard worker. Hard worker, yeah. Working's been my life, man, and I try to be the best man that I can. But doing this is like my getaway, man. Doing shows is my getaways. Get away from everything. Get to the Cowboys world. Only thing that beats doing this is actually watching us play. For those 3, it's like Dominic Toretto in the first Fast and Furious. For those 10 seconds or less, I'm free. For those 3 hours and a half or less, I'm free. Unless we're getting our ass kicked in, my whole day's ruined. But, watching the Cowboys play is my own brand of heroin. It's if you don't know, then you don't know. There's no way to explain it. The people that are on this channel, the people that subscribe, the people that watch other content creators, they know it. Or else they wouldn't spend their time on YouTube, chatting it up and talking about the blue and the silver, America's team, most expensive sports franchise in the world. And we ain't done nothing in 29 years. I mean, nothing, worth writing home to mom about, but we're close. Me too, I'm a football Dallas Cowboys junkie. Yeah, exactly, man. It's like after the Green Bay loss. I mean, we were supposed to go to the championship game this last season. It was written. We put Jimmy into the Ring of Honor after 31 years. Jerry Jones, who assembled the Some people argue the best team to ever be assembled in NFL history. Finally put them in the Ring of Honor. And then Philly has this historic fall. We surge at the end of the season. We get the 2 seed, 16 in a row at home. But we have 2 home games. We got Green Bay and then whoever's next. And we'll get to the chip game. It was written. And then Green Bay happens. And we're like, what the hell is going on? A beatdown that we haven't had in the playoffs since 2009 at Minnesota. And that beatdown was expected. They were a much better team than us. We were the 2 seed against the 7 seed at home. Oh, goodness. Consistency pays big time, my brother. In time you'll grow and maybe have a podcast. Exactly. 80 more subscribers at 500, the channel can monetize. And when it does, whatever money it brings in will build to the show. I'll get an actual studio. You know, you watch Vox Lombardi, Law Nation, all them. They all have the microphone. They all have studio, sound bites. And I'll have the call-in line. Law Nation is the only one that does that. I don't understand that. Seems like the call-in line would be the biggest thing of your live show because people want to be heard. People love, I call in on this show. People love to call in and have their opinion expressed or heard. You know what I mean? He's the only one that does that. So I'll definitely have a call-in line when I hit 500. I'm from South Africa, but I do watch some good football. Do you live in South Africa or are you from South Africa? Because if you live in South Africa, you'd be getting up at some odd times and watching NFL. Which that never stopped me when I was, when I was 16, 17. So no, 17. Dropped out of high school and was working nights. 10 hours a night. And you sleep all day when you first start doing that. But football season just started. 03 season. Bill Parcells' first year. And I'd get off, I'd get home, get to bed like 8:30, 9 a.m., be exhausted. But if we had a noon game, my alarm was 11:45. I got up, I watched us play and went back to bed. If we played at 3, I get up at 2:30, watch the game, and then get a little nap before work again. I never let it get in the way of me missing the game, which is kind of funny. But yeah, phone's at 15%. I'm going to shut it down now, guys. I implore subscribe, like, and share. Let's get Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report up there where it belongs. So maybe next off-season in Oxnard, like the video Law had last week when he was at the restaurant with Mark Holmes and all the big heavy hitters. If I'm in Oxnard, they all know who I am. I'm going to be at the damn table too. And it would be fun. Charles, it's crazy how 1995, our last Super Bowl, yes, and championship game appearance, that means almost 30 teams could not get there. And we've had, I hope it changes. We've had some damn good teams since that 95 squad too, bro. If we'd have drafted Randy Moss in 98 as a Super Bowl team, the 99 team was a Super Bowl team. But Michael Irvin breaks his neck in week 4. We're 3-0. After Michael Irvin breaks his neck, that offense of scheme is done. We had Michael Irvin and Rocket Ishmael. Big physical receiver over the middle, speedster down the sideline. Good offense. That was Super Bowl team. 07 Super Bowl team. Terrell Owens has to break his leg like he did in 04 with Philly. If Terrell Owens don't break his leg against Carolina week 16 in 07, and he's 100% against the Giants, because he whooped the Giants week 1 and week 10. It was week 9 of that season. 2 touchdowns in each game. They can't cover him. But when a month after a broken leg, T.O. was like 30%. He played, but not really. So that, he has to break his leg. And then the following season was what it was. 09 was the okay team. 2014 was the Super Bowl team. And we get the penalty. We get the bad call, which was, 4th and 1 with that offensive line. 07 was a good team, Chris, but 2014, I think, was the Super Bowl team. 4th and 1. It's a 5-point game. You got the best offensive line in the league. NFL's leading rusher. Everybody knows you're going to pound for that yard. And then we call play action one-on-one to Dez, who was mossing people that year. And Dez jumps up, makes the catch, comes down, step, dive, boom, hits the ground ball, comes out. I'm going nuts like, we're going to punch it in, take the lead, go for 2, be up by 3, and our defense is going to make a play. We're going to go to Seattle. They review it, and I'm 100% positive during the review, the whole commercial break, that it's not going to be overturned. I'm like, no, there's no way. It's no way. And they say it's incomplete. And as surprised as Des Bryant looked, that's how surprised I looked. 2016 team could have done it too, man. If they didn't have that slow start and if Aaron Rodgers wasn't Superman. What? 5 seconds left, no timeouts because he just got blindsided sacked by Jeff Heath. Ball was like this and he still don't fumble. Jeff Heath hits him in the back. All he's got, he don't fumble, calls a timeout. 5 seconds left, it's Jared Cook on a 37-yard out route, out of bounds. Mason Crosby nails 2 58-yarders in a row. Like, what? I mean, come on, man. Of all ways to lose. In 2001, that quarterback draw, slides, not enough time to spike the ball to get one shot to the end zone. We have lost in the craziest ways. 2016 was Jackson's rookie year. 06, that wasn't a Super Bowl team, but, we're about to go up late in the fourth quarter against Seattle, and Romo botches the snap. It looked like he might make it to get in, score a touchdown. Then Justin Babineau, shoelace tackle. I'm like, what the hell happened? Man. But like every year is our year. This year's our year. Well, I can tell you we'll be playing in January at least. All we got to do is just put a team effort together in January, and we can get to where we want to go. That's what it took for Indy. Peyton Manning couldn't do it himself. He needed defense, special teams to play with him. That's what they did in 06. Drew Brees needed defense and special teams to play with him. They did that in 09. Look at those 2 Super Bowl teams. That was a team effort in those playoff runs. Peyton Manning and Drew Brees did not throw their teams to the Super Bowl in 06 and 09. That defense and the special teams is a big part of that. And good quarterbacking. And even the 2022 team, yeah. If we don't have them injuries, Tony Pollard was PFF rated the second most explosive player in 22 behind the Cheetah. That's how good TP was in 22. Because he would soften the defense, pound them, and then Tony Pollard hit them with that lightning. Yeah, we should have, man, but Pollard goes down with a broken leg. They're completely healthy. We don't have no Terrence Steele. We got Tyron Smith, who can't play right tackle very well. And I think we made the right choice of not re-signing him because he's missing time in training camp with tightness in his back, and that shit could turn into something big with him. Now we got, rookie Tyler Guyton, who's bigger and could be just as good. We'll see, guys. But before my phone dies, I'm going to upload this. Chris, #1 fan, always will be. Everybody, thank you for joining. Please hit that subscribe button, guys. Help me get to 500. That like button helps this video pop up on feeds. Otherwise would not. And, gets the channel more opportunities to get new subscribers. So please hit the like button if you're watching after it's uploaded, guys. I will catch y'all later on. It is Friday night, the 9th of August, 2024. We are, September 8th is week 1, right? So we're exactly 31 days away from week 1 at Cleveland. Amari Cooper's wannabe revenge game. Thank you, Chris. God bless you, my man. God bless everybody. Be safe. I'll catch you on the flip side. Get your popcorn ready because it's going to be a show. Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report is out. Deuce.